month maybe or so, I have on and off been experimenting with so-called vibe coding an app. That is where you use a an AI tool to code your app. You're not necessarily you might be a developer, but it's basically, as far as I understand what vibe coding is, it's where you are building an app using AI assistance. So I was curious to try this out. I'd heard about it. I was like, all right, cool. I want to try to build an app. It was actually at my company, somebody had me user test something that we're trying to build internally. And I was like, wow, if I can do this much with this app that we're building internally, I bet there's really good stuff out there already in the market. So I started off with ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT about like what are some other options that I can use here, and it gave me some suggestions like Figma Make and Bubble and other things. So I checked out Bubble, and you can type in with an AI prompt with Bubble to create an app, but then that's kind of it. It's very like a small amount that you can type in, and then everything else is like a you build it yourself kind of. It's like a this is, I would say, a good tool if you want to build an app with a lot of customization and not have to know code. But it was more work than I wanted to do because you still had to pretty much build everything yourself, even if you weren't coding it yourself. So then I looked at Figma Make because I was like, oh, well, it's a design tool. Cool. And when I tried it, you could build something using Figma Make, a completely functional AI app using Figma Make. But when I was trying it out, you couldn't edit the design afterwards. And at the same time, I tried out V0 by Vercel. And I tried it out and was like, oh, wow, I can actually edit the design. So I ended up building an app. As you can see, I'm on version 189. I even don't even know if I can go all the way back to my first version. But yeah, so I was right about this being about a month. So this was the first version that it came up with, but you cannot see it, I don't think, at this point because it's so old. Or maybe it just takes a while to load. But yeah, so you can see it. And as, see, look at this. I'm already looking at this and I'm mad because it looked better in this first version. So you get an app like this and it looks good. You're like, wow, this actually kind of worked. It blah, blah, blah. Um, And there were some mistakes that I made in the beginning where I did not set up some of these environmental variables. So at the beginning, you have to basically connect. If you're going to build an app that functions, it has to connect to other stuff. So it has to connect to a database, and Vercel V0 uses Supabase, which always makes me think of that. Is that Rihanna song? Boom, da boom, 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 da boom, boom, baby. That song, like that always makes me think of that song. So like whenever I think super bass, that's in my head. And so yeah, you have to set up all of this stuff from the beginning to make it work. And honestly, I want to try out this old version. So what this app is you're taking this quiz on the 8 pillars of wellness. So I'm just going to go through it really quickly, and you're basically taking this quiz to rate yourself on these dimensions of wellness. And then what you want to do later, the idea is to share this with people in your community and then see how they rate you on it. And so I'm filling this out here. The quiz is complete and it's showing me my results. How is this working so well? I'm so mad. Okay, so I'm just going to put in like a fake email here, and then you type it in and you get your full report, and then it's showing you your scores. And I'm really confused why it looks so good. It didn't look that good when I first generated. There were a lot more issues. So I'm, oh, maybe because this is the version 2 of my app. Um, okay, I knew why now. Um, so essentially the idea is then you can share this with somebody else, and then they can take the quiz on your behalf too. So then somebody can rate you. And this, I realized what happened. So I'm taking the quiz again. So this is V2 of the app. So this isn't actually V1 of my app. This is me I had created a stable-ish version, and then I've been trying to tweak it apparently 189 times of this V2, which isn't even the first one. Ugh. So I'm a little all over the place. I'm sorry. But I'm just so frustrated because I've been spending so much time getting this to work, and this is actually heartening, making me feel a little bit better though, because it's showing me that I do have an older version of the app that works. But there's some problems where, like, this isn't actually getting saved to the database and all this stuff. So it's good to see that an older version works, and maybe like when I publish this video, I'll share this older version at least. But yeah, let me go back. So here's I have a few different chats, and basically when you're coming into this tool, you're basically doing a chat interface and creating an app. So I'm going to go back to my way old version and just see what it was like. Um, so yeah, essentially, yep. Okay, this was the first one. This is more like it. So yeah, I had this weird eyeball looking thing, but this is what, based on my prompt, the AI generated. So I mean, it's not that bad. It's pretty good for a first thing. So I think I had actually worked with ChatGPT to build this. So I had a little prompt that I had it start with, like have this brand and style, um, how the flow works. So essentially, what I had done, I don't know where my original ChatGPT chat is to show you, but essentially, what I had done was talk to ChatGPT about my idea and then have ChatGPT create this initial prompt for how the app worked based on my idea and what it sounded right to me. And then V0 generated this. And I didn't like how it's like asking for your email right away. Like, you should be able to put in your reading info and stuff first. But overall, it wasn't bad. And then I did a lot of iteration. And what I realized is a lot of things, but I realized that sometimes the biggest thing that I found frustrating about this whole process is how AI sounds so confident that it's done things correctly. Like it said, this should work. There will be things where it says very confidently that it fixed something and now it's worked. So now it's cleaner. Now it works better. It works correctly. And then it gives you this illusion of confidence that something actually happened and that something good like you've actually made progress, when really you have not made any progress at all, and it's just really frustrating. So I that was very smart of me to have a separate one. So this is my latest version, and I honestly like the older version better. But using all these AI things, so what I started working on today was how actually I should go back to the other one to show you. So in the normal app, in the app, as part of the workflow, you get your quiz, you get your results, and then you send your friends a rating link. You send the people in your circle a rating link. So I need to go to the latest one. Hopefully that's the latest one. So you take the quiz. I'll do it again. So you take this quiz, you get your results, and then you can send the results to your friends. And my friend thing wasn't working. So I think I did show this earlier, but I'll show it again. So I'm just taking the quiz again for the millionth time. And so you get your full results, yay. And so then this link, you send it to somebody and then they rate on your behalf. So that it should say like rate Rachel, but it says this person's messed up. So the rating links just had somehow stopped working at all. And part of the problem is because when I first set up my project, I did not create the database correctly. So then everything was saving on my local computer, and I wanted the users to be able to type in their email and access it from a different device. So that's part of the problem, is that I had to completely refactor the app, and I'm honestly now just again questioning, is would it just be better to just rebuild this whole thing from scratch or something? Um, so I don't know. But yeah, so you've got your friend link, you can send it, and I could do this a few more times to have a few more results, but this is showing me how I see myself versus how others see me. And I showed this to, I'm in this like AI robot builder club I just joined because I was hoping it would kind of help me get more perspective on what works and what doesn't. And I mean, I've only been to 2 meetings so far, but I was kind of hoping I'd have more support than I did. Basically, what I was told was to put my whole file into ChatGPT, so you can go into the code and just download it all as a zip file. And so I just did that today. I put it into ChatGPT, and oh no, that's not the right chat. So this is what I've been doing today. I put it in here, and so it imported the zip file. It did all this reading, blah blah blah, and I have instructions for ChatGPT to give me prompts to put into V0 for me to see. Look at all this stuff it's reading for me to put into V0, so that then I can just have a prompt to put in, so I don't have to go in and do code myself. Oh my gosh, so much. So yeah, it's reading all this stuff, and so it gave me all these prompts to put into V0, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's actually fixing stuff. So yeah, see, it's giving me all this stuff, put into V0, put this in there, fix this, blah blah blah, giving me all these things, and it's just like so confident that it's working. And so then I'll put the prompt in there and some progress will be made, but then there's still something I notice that's wrong, so we have to go back and keep working and keep fixing it. And I've just spent like a good portion of today doing that, feeling like I'm making progress. And now I'm like worse off than I was before. Now, like when I take the quiz, it doesn't even save my results. And I'm just really frustrated because um, this is just what happens is I'll just keep spinning in a circle. So I spin in a circle in V0, and so that's why I've started using ChatGPT. I've actually even used Claude before, and now I'm actually thinking maybe I should go back to using Claude again for this, um, to see if Claude will help. But it's basically like I'm not a developer, and I I know enough about coding to get myself in trouble. And so, I mean, if I'm told to come in here and mess with something, I know how to do that. It's not like I can't. I just don't really want to. And yeah, it's just the whole confidence trap of using an AI system is extremely frustrating and extremely it's a big trap that can end up being a big time suck. And I would love to know other ideas to try at this point, but I've spent hours on this today and I feel like I'm worse off than I was before. And I've heard this analogy where like so-called vibe coding or AI can take you 90% of the way, and then the 10% is where like the human needs to be. And I really see that. Like this first app that I generated, I mean, in the like way long ago, was really good, and then I've had to iterate and iterate and iterate to get it to work. And this one works. I think this one's the one that works on local storage, and that just might have to be what it is if I'm going to share this with people. And that's okay, I guess. But what I wanted it to do is you be able to basically put in your email and then you can access it from anywhere. And I think now that's just not going to work. My feedback form's not here, but this is an app. I'm happy with how it looks. It overall works. Everything works in this app right now, except for the fact that you can't log in or like put in your email. So technically, I built this in a weekend, but it doesn't work properly, so called properly, And everything I've been doing over the past 20 days after that has been trying to get this to work in the proper way. And part of the problem was is I didn't set up my database from the beginning, and so I think a lot of the app was just built incorrectly and built inefficiently, and so I've had to refactor the code using AI to refactor the code. So I'm not even sure if I'm refactoring it correctly. But overall, I mean, I've learned a lot about what not to do with this, and so from the beginning, I know that like I need to set up all the environmental variables correctly from the beginning and everything. But yeah, it's just really frustrating. And so I think I'm gonna just replace what I have now with this new one, this old one, because the old one works and is stable. And V2 is just gonna, that's what I think I'm just gonna have to do, just give up on V2 for now. Because I would like to share this. I mean, it does work. It's something anyway. This is stable. Um, yeah, I just have been feeling really frustrated because it just didn't work. Uh, so yeah, um, that has been me in my journey experimenting with vibe coding. But yeah, I mean, ultimately though, my ultimate thoughts about this is that it's really cool, like that if you're willing to put in the time, you can you can build websites, you can build all sorts of things, proof of concepts without having to be a developer. But this is this my experience is very clear that you still need certain skill sets to do this. I mean, I'm a fairly technical person, but I'm still not a developer. And so um, it really makes a big difference if you actually know what you're doing. But there's a lot of cool things, a lot of really cool examples. So there, the apps that are out there right now. This is V0, Bubble. You have to do a lot more drag and drop editing. You can't really do as much AI prompting. There's also Figma Make. Another one that's popular is Lovable. I did look at Lovable, but I didn't use it because everything by default is public. So, and I was just kind of felt a little uncomfortable with, I don't know, my app being public from the beginning. On V0, you can these are community ones that you can choose to share, but you don't have to share. Yeah, and another thing to talk about is the cost of this. So I think I've probably spent $200 at least on this app of just like spinning around, and I I don't regret it per se because I would have spent a ton of money on a developer or classes or something like this. This is me kind of paying for my education, but just to be transparent. So I mean, you can do a lot for free. Actually, $5 of the credit is actually a lot. You could like I built a whole app using the free plan, and then I kept trying to do more. So then I think I'm on the premium plan now, and then you can purchase additional credits, and that's what I've been doing. So I keep forgetting where you go to see the like usage info. Um, uh, yeah, usage. So you can kind of see a little bit. You can't see a ton of details. I don't. This isn't clicking. Maybe it takes me to the message. Oh yeah, it just takes you to the specific message. So anyway, you can see how much each interaction costs. So this is me messaging the system, and some are really expensive actually. Overall, they're all less than $1. Some are like 12 cents. But sometimes you get into the $2, $1 range. Yeah, like this one, 257. That was a lot. And I guess input credits. So input is what I put in. So I must have put in something complicated. It was probably like my ChatGPT thing, and then the output. So this can just kind of add up, but uh, I still think it was worth it just for the experience of learning. And there's some cool stuff now. You can like build your design systems, which that wasn't there when I did this. So you can do like a sort of a style theme now. There's templates. These are really growing really fast, and I think it was it it um, I think maybe what I was trying to do is a little bit ambitious to an extent. But overall, I think it was really cool and fun to build this. I did build it in a weekend, but then it still wasn't fully functional. So, and the problem is with the thing with me trying to make it fully functional, I keep spinning and spinning in the same circle, talking to this AI, thinking it's making progress, and then it didn't actually make progress. And then what happened today is I was worse off than I was before. So that is my rambly experience of using vibe coding tools to build an app.